big fan of the TV show The Good Place and Parks and Rec and The Office, so I knew that I would love this book by Michael Schur. He's been involved in all of those projects, and he wrote this book on moral philosophy called How to Be Perfect, which, as you can tell from the cover, is a tongue-in-cheek reference because he didn't even get the word perfect. And I really like this book. It's not really about AI or data or technology, but it is about ethics, and it's about all the little everyday decisions that we need to wrestle with. And what Schur does is he takes us back and gives us a grounding in some of the basics of moral philosophy. So it's kind of like a book about philosophy for people who don't know anything about philosophy. And he starts out with Aristotle and talking about the virtues and trying to find the golden mean. And he segues into utilitarianism, consequentialism, about adding up, doing the greatest good for the most amount of people, and then goes into the field of deontological rules and how to live by maxims and rules. So kind of like the classic trinity of Western philosophy as the grounding. But he does this in a super fun way. He actually writes a really funny and fun book about ethics, which isn't necessarily an easy thing to do. And he also brings in some more contemporary philosophers. So for those of you who know The Good Place, you may be familiar with the philosopher T.M. Scanlon and some of his work around contractualism, this idea that we owe each other things, little things sometimes, little niceties that we can do. So Schur talks about this idea of, should we return the grocery cart? If we're able to return the grocery cart at the grocery store, should we do that? Is it just something nice that we can do for other people to make their lives a little bit easier? And it's a really relatable example that reminds us, sometimes it's not about the trolley problem, the big, philosophical dilemmas that we sometimes hear about in philosophy books. It might be about returning the grocery cart. It might be about whether or not we should join two data sets together to make them linkable. It might be about those small little choices that we make every day that actually contain a lot of ethical, or should contain a lot of ethical forethought, because they can have ethical consequences. So that's really what the book is all about. He also coins this really fun phrase, moral exhaustion. And he says, this is going to be my contribution to the world of philosophy. So I thought I'd help him out here by saying moral exhaustion is something we should think about. And moral exhaustion is this idea that we live in a complicated world. And if we think about every choice of every piece of equipment that we've ever bought in the supply chain, or if we like a piece of music or art and the person who made it goes on and does something horrible, should we like that anymore? Or should we maybe not, listen to that piece of music anymore? What's the right thing to do here? Where does it end? And sometimes that can feel a little bit overwhelming. We can feel a little exhausted by all of the moralizing that goes into those kinds of decisions. So at the end of the day, it's not about how to be perfect. In fact, that is an unattainable goal for all of us, mere humans. It's about trying. It's about trying to do better. It's about trying to make these choices and to think about how we're going about our lives. And that's really the core message of this book. And I think it's something that we can apply in the context of AI ethics as well. So Michael Schur, How to Be Perfect, super fun read.